Imagine this. The engine of the old Russian van coughs, sputters, and then dies. Silence. A profound, ringing silence you can feel in your bones. I'm standing in the middle of the Mongolian steppe. It's not just land, it's an ocean of green and gold, stretching to a horizon so vast it feels like the whole world is curving right under my feet. There's no phone in my hand, no GPS, not even a paper map. Just me, the wind, the smell of wild sage, and a short, powerful horse with a mane like iron wire. This is the start of a 500-mile journey across one of the most remote landscapes on Earth. My mission, to navigate the Kongai Mountains and the Okan Valley using only the sun, the stars, and the ancient wisdom of the land. My partner in this insane adventure was my horse, who I named Steppe2 after the great Mongol Khans. And let me tell you, these Mongolian horses are something else. They aren't pets, they're forces of nature. They roam free in herds, and they're born with an internal compass that puts any satellite to shame. Riding Steppe2 wasn't about giving commands. It was about making a deal. A silent pact. If I trusted his hooves to find their footing, he'd carry me safely over the treacherous marmot holes and rocky ridges that could break an ankle in a heartbeat. It was a lesson in letting go of control and putting my faith in an animal that understood this world far better than I did. Our journey was a throwback to a forgotten time, relying on what nomads have used for centuries. The angle of the sun at noon and the sacred peaks on the horizon that never move. For the first couple of days, I felt it, that constant nagging impulse to reach for a phone that wasn't there. The digital itch. I'd find myself patting my pocket, looking for a screen to confirm my location, to tell me I was on the right path. But by day 3, something shifted. That itch was gone, replaced by a hyper-awareness of everything around me. My senses, dulled by years of city life, were coming alive. I started noticing things. The grass on the southern slopes of the hills was always thinner and drier from the sun. The northern faces were lucia, holding more moisture. I learned to watch the eagles, where they circled high in the sky. There was almost always life, below maybe a water source or a herd of animals. My world, once filtered through a screen, was now raw, unfiltered, and incredibly rich with information. I wasn't just looking at the landscape, I was reading it. Then, the steppe decided to test us. One afternoon, a white felt storm rolled in off the mountains. It happened so fast. 1 minute, blue skies. The next, we were swallowed by a thick, blinding mist. You couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. Without a compass, this is how people get lost and die. Panic is a silent killer out here. My first instinct was to push forward, to fight it, to try and find a direction. But then I remembered the pact. I stopped. I calmed myself and just watched the horses. Steppe2, completely unfazed, simply turned his tail to the wind to shield himself and began to walk. Not a panicked run, but a steady, confident pace. I had no choice but to trust him. For 2 hours, we walked blindly through the whiteout, and then, like a miracle, a shape emerged from the mist, the faint outline of a lonely ger, a traditional Mongolian yurt. Smoke was curling from its central chimney, a perfect, gentle beacon of hope in a world of gray. He had led us straight to safety. Survival on the steppe isn't just about skill. It's built on an ancient code of hospitality. In my world, we lock our doors. Here, a travella is considered a guest, sent by the sky. As we approached the gayer, a family of herders came out to greet us. There were no questions, no demands for ID or explanations. They just saw 2 weary travelers and opened their home. We were immediately ushered inside, out of the biting wind, and handed a bowl of hot sauté saya salty milk tea that warms you from the inside out. They shared their food, fried dough called bortsig, and gave us a place to rest by the fire. That night, through a mix of gestures and my broken Mongolian, the family elder took me outside. He pointed up at the sky, a breathtaking tapestry of stars you can only see this far from city lights. He showed me Ultim Gadas, the golden peg, our North Star, the one point in the heavens that never moves. Through my friend who was translating, he said something I'll never forget. The land does not change. Only the men who forget how to look at it. The final 100 miles were a pure test of endurance. My skin was weathered to a dark bronze, My clothes smelled of wood smoke and horse sweat, and every muscle in my body ached. We were pushing ourselves and the horses across thousand-year-old trails, forging rivers so deep the water came up to the horses' bellies. There's no recalculating button out here. If you miss a mountain pass, you could be lost for days. The stakes were real. But we kept going, guided by the sun and the stars, just as the elder had taught me. And then it happened. We crested one final, grueling ridge, and there it was, our destination. A shimmering blue lake, sparkling in the distance like a jewel. The feeling that washed over me was unlike any digital victory I've ever known. It wasn't the ping of a notification or a conquered level in a game. This was the raw, powerful triumph of the human spirit returning to its roots. We hadn't just crossed a landscape. We had reclaimed our instincts. We had remembered how to look. This journey fundamentally changed me. It stripped away the noise and the distractions and reconnected me to something primal, something we all have inside us, an instinct for survival, a connection to the natural world, and an appreciation for the simple, profound kindness of strangers. It taught me that the most advanced navigation tool we have is the one we were born with. You just have to be quiet enough to hear it. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. If you enjoyed this journey into the wild heart of Mongolia, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the road less traveled. See you on the next one.